So, Amoraltra. Back in 2021, this Indonesian kid went from a fairly unknown video maker in the Geometry Dash community to one of Friday Night Funkin's biggest creators. Through the popularity of his characters Bob and Bosip, as well as the FNF mod they were featured in, Amor's channel exploded and gained subscribers in a way not seen before in the FNF community. He had multiple videos in the millions of views, but as you may already know, his potentially huge career was destroyed after several allegations were brought up against him by multiple people. It started with his messages consoling an FNF predator by the name of AetherDX, then it was allegations of worker abuse from those who worked on his FNF mod. Then Amor's private NSFW account was leaked to the public, which included some very degenerate drawings. Not only was this stuff just really weird to see, but it also got to the level of humiliating and hilarious, especially when he literally admitted to having a small penis. Now if it ended here, just like his cock, it probably wouldn't have been a huge deal. If that was it, I would have just laughed and moved on. But things got worse when a Reddit post was published showing Amoraltra's suspect Discord history. Most of these messages stem from when he was around 16, in which he can be seen saying some pretty weird shit, like obsessively sexualizing multiple 13-year-olds. Even if he was still 16 at the time, reading these messages back makes me still feel really uncomfortable, and it just showed Amor as a complete freak. Especially the one where he says, "You have to sacrifice your youth to me." Also, if you're making me feel uncomfortable whilst reading your messages, that is somewhat of an achievement. This Reddit post led to an onslaught of more screenshots where he was now 18 and still asking kids to draw porn for him, sending 15-year-olds his NSFW account, asking 15-year-olds for penis pictures, probably because theirs were bigger, and allegations of him telling a 13-year-old to just wait until they're 18, and that basically just signed his career death warrant. Thousands of people came out and commented on the situation, multiple memes were made that went viral calling Amoraltra a pedophile, and it was all just incredibly hectic. Predictably, Amor would publish a fake apology and leave the internet, and his case today is one of the biggest inside the FNF community. But many people have been asking, where is Amoraltra? That's what we're here to answer today, what he's doing, and when he plans to return. Unlike many others, when Amoraltra left the internet, he properly left. He's never commented publicly on this situation since, he's never posted any videos, he's just stayed silent on every part of his social media. Things have sprung up about him as always, including one person who sent out alleged screenshots of him in contact with a 16-year-old, but it was later proven that those DMs were either faked or it was just a fake Amoraltra account doing it in the first place. Then, people started calling his family for information, which is about as nonsensical as calling 911 on Sean Cookie, which also actually happened.
So, I work in an online community that is indie video game, like, modding development and whatnot.
I'm sorry. And when calling Amor's mother, they apparently found out that he was focusing on education, and he has since got psychiatric treatment. When I covered this rumour in October 2022, I strongly expressed my own doubt in the last claim, considering the state of mental health treatment in Indonesia. 3. Psychiatric treatment for months? Really? I don't really buy that. Like, what therapists are there in Indonesia? I don't live in Indonesia, and I don't talk to anyone from Indonesia, but given that the Western world barely has any therapists available over here, I'm gonna make an educated assumption and say that Indonesia doesn't really have the best psychiatric help, given that there are literal medical studies about the stigmatization of mental health problems in Indonesia. Again, there's obviously the possibility this could be fake, but I also buy that someone would be so stupid as to phone Amoraltra's mother. So, again, just take this as you will. But after all this while, we finally have some solid confirmation that Amoraltra is coming back, and it comes from a credible source, that being Bluskys, who was a friend of Amor's back in the day. This statement reads as follows. Hey everyone, there's a thread going around Twitter right now stating that Amor is going to come back sometime in August or September. Since a bunch of it is misconstrued, misinformation, and also was hacked from someone's Discord account, with permission, I'm here to give you guys a quick update on questions I'll be getting in DMs. Feel free to repost this on Twitter, I hope this clears your thoughts up. Where did Amor go after the incident? This next part isn't a guilt trip, I'm just going to state the facts. Amor was manic depressive, suicidal, and understandably paranoid. His initial apology was posted, deleted by his sister, and reposted. It was dog shit. The reason I know is because he came to me asking for help. I don't turn down suicidal people or people who need help, so I helped him get therapy, antidepressants, psychiatric advice, and told him not to come back until every issue was solved. Our contact is on and off, not every day or every week, more like a few times a month. Is he still around? The last time Amor touched social media was December 26th, 2021. Any artist or person you think was Amor hiding was not, and he did not access any of his accounts. I was the only person he had any contact with whilst he was gone until approximately October 27th, 2022, where he reconnected with a few people who were affected to apologise, atone, and show improvement. Amoraltra was suspended for a year because of his banner image being flagged as sexual, that has since been reactivated but not used. Where's his account? The reason you've seen leaked DMs is because of the above. Those are not fake. Amor lost its Discord account because of losing his two-factor authentication. That account is completely disabled by Discord support, he hasn't seen your DMs. His new account is solely for talking with friends, it's private, don't ask. I reached out to Discord support and got ownership transfer from the old one to this one. Amoraltra and Amoraltra on Twitter are both inactive and haven't been accessed. He does not have an alt. Was he attacked/doxed? His family's Facebook accounts were stalked by a few B&B fans, but he was not doxed. There was a situation regarding the safety of his family and where he is living. It wasn't a assassination attempt or a swatting, it was someone family associated threatening their home. He moved and he's completely safe now. Fucking assassination attempt. How? Who would assassinate Amoraltra? What the fuck? Is he coming back? He's asked me if he should and I've given him the same answer every time. When you're ready. Amor's been gone for 616 days. He's grown, he's changed, and repented for his past multiple times over. I've personally seen to it, and I can promise you that through the therapy, the self-improvement, and his want to grow, it shows. He is currently a full-time art college student, and still actively draws his characters. I made him promise that if and when he makes a video, he will address all of his actions, his future plans, and he will not return to the Geometry Dash or FNF community. His return will generally be mostly sporadic art posts, and create individual YouTube content so he could financially support his family. No exact return date, but before 2024. Please not spread unsubstantiated rumours, always ask first. Thank you for your patience, I hope this clears things up. Blue. Whilst the extra information is appreciated, the part about his return is really what everyone's interested in. It's the reason I wanted to make a video on this in the first place, it's the reason you probably clicked on this video. The reception to this post as well was so divisive, because Amoraltra's diehard fans were thrilled upon hearing this news, whilst everyone else was disgusted. Yet when I saw this, my first thought was, is he really going to come back? Look at the scenario. This man's channel has been completely dead for over a year, and he lost around 40,000 subscribers. As soon as he uploads, I guarantee more people are going to remember they're subscribed, and they will unsubscribe immediately. If he seriously thinks he'll be able to make individual YouTube content to support his family financially, he's fucked. I'm sorry, he's completely fucked. His channel is a rotting carcass, and nothing is gonna happen. Not only does everyone think he's the FNF Epstein because of the memes, but he's not even appealing to the communities he used to be in, and he didn't have enough time to build that solid fan base that will follow him in whatever content direction he makes. I feel like he's gonna try making this kind of content, then he'll realize this isn't enough and not worth the constant comments just calling him a pedo, and he'll just disappear again forever. He might even try to sell his channel like Sky does Minecraft just to scrape some money off it. But should Amoraltra be allowed to come back? Has he changed? I'm a big believer of the one and done policy for a lot of people who've groomed someone and fucked with kids because a lot of the time they don't really learn and their brains are too fucked up for them not to re-offend. However, a lot of people will make exceptions, especially when it comes to mental health and someone getting therapy. And new hot take, I think that's kind of dumb.
Guys, exactly I'm going to be honest with you. I'm owning this. People are mad at me for saying this. One, I think 80% of influencers don't actually go to therapy, all right? And for the 20% that do, I don't fucking care about it. The therapy is for you, so you stop being a total fucking creep. When you come back, you can't justify it by saying, well, I went to 2 years of fucking therapy. Nobody cares if you went to fucking therapy. That's for you. That's your points. You become a better person. You don't leverage that shit on me for my fucking emotions. It doesn't work like that, okay? I'm not the fucking therapist. I don't get the fucking... I don't give you the $200 for pass and go, okay? Fuck off.
Even if you consider therapy to somehow be a redeeming thing, there's not even any solid proof that Amor actually got therapy. Upon seeing this post, I decided to get into contact with Blue and actually ask for any private confirmation that Amor had gone to therapy. Now, I won't reveal any of the private details here, but essentially what I was told was that Amor had been actively seeking therapy, found an institution, and he could definitely afford it, but no real physical proof has been shown to anyone. There's no, like, censored documents or anything. It's not like with Revi, who actually got therapy, and they proved it with, like messages and stuff and actual documents. Now you can take what you want from that, but reading this basically solidified my doubt. I don't believe Amor's actually gone to therapy, and it's hard for me to see the truth in Blue's testimony. To be clear, I like Blue, I think they're chilled and I trust them. The question just comes up to me, how can you judge someone's mental health journey whilst only talking to them once or twice a month? It doesn't really add up to me. The only big way I think Amoraltra could come back is through his response. Yes, apparently when he comes back, Amoraltra is going to address his future plans as well as all of his previous actions. Now it probably will just be an apology where he says sorry for doing what he did, but if he comes in with fire, I'm going to be really interested. Again, let us sink in that this is the first time Amoraltra is really properly addressing most of this stuff, and it could be something interesting. My video has 1 million views, Turkey Tom's video included him has almost 2 million views, so if it brings up new stuff, that would be huge, depending on what it is. But let's be fair, he's probably not going to. As I said before, it's hard to really make a video respond to this post because I don't even need to do anything. If my prediction is right, and I think it is, he's just going to burn out on his own. He doesn't have the ego to ignore comments like mirth, he's not content with an audience of 7 fart-sniffing furries like the Maze, he's just going to fade away. People like Bluskys might have a different opinion on it, and that's fine, but I don't know. I don't really need to act on this, it's not a big red button issue unless it becomes one. I don't think he should come back because I don't believe him, but the community already hates him, and I don't think they'll let him come back. This isn't like a major code red for me because I feel like I know what's going to happen, and I think he does as well. Until next time, stay safe and stay toasty.